another thing that we should realize is that beyond the basic description of the topic, okay, number of factors has a formula looking like this, you will see two steps later any question becomes about logical thinking, critical thinking, analyzing it, translating it for yourself very quickly and clearly. So the same logic over and over applies irrespective of the topic name. So it doesn't matter if the topic is number of factors or algebra or arithmetic. You will see it is about understanding what the term means in full detail and then applying basic logical steps. And the logic is visible according to the question itself. So let's try one more question to try and complicate the situation. I tell you there is a number n cube and the number of factors for n cube, let me put it as 28. So this time we are not even talking about n, we are straight away going into n cube. N cube, the number of factors is 28. I am asking you what will be the number of factors for n. So a little even one more extra step compared to the previous process, because at least there we were dealing with n. Now straight away we are dealing with n cube. But let us not get deterred by it. Let us call it something new. Let's call it q. So it becomes a new question. There is a number q and it has 28 factors. What is the nature of q in terms of prime factorization? So let me start thinking. Easiest way of thinking would be 1 into 28 is definitely a product of 28. That would mean a is equal to 0, which would mean it doesn't exist, and b is equal to 27. This product cycle would mean that q can be written as prime number raised to 27, right? Because 27 plus 1 you would have 28 factors, or you can write it as another prime number which had 0, that means it wasn't there. 0 plus 1 is 1 and 27 plus 1 is 28. So if q is p raised to 27, what would be n? Because q is n cube, that means n cube is equal to p raised to 27. Now I'll take a cube root on both sides or divide it by 3. What will I get? N is equal to p raised to 9. If n is some prime raised to the power of 9, the number of factors for n in this case would be straight away 10, because 9 plus 1, 10. The factors would be from p raised to 0 up to p raised to 9, making 10 factors. So I looked at 28 as a product of two natural numbers, which gave me a prime form for the q, which then taking the cube root or dividing both the powers by 3, I got n as p raised to 9 and the number of factors as 10. Any other way of writing 28? Yes, I can write it as 2 into 14. That would mean a equal to 1 and b equal to 13. That would mean q is p raised to 1 and another prime number raised to 13. Now stop here. Is this possible at all? No, because if you think of a cube of a number, whatever the powers are must be multiples of 3. Say you had a number p raised to a, right? And you said cube it. What would you get? You would get p raised to 3 into a. That means whatever the power is, it must be a multiple of 3 when we are talking about a cube of a number. But that is not so here. That means this situation is ruled out for me, cancelled out for me, right? Any other way of writing 28? Yes, I can. 7 into 4 is equal to 28. 7 would mean a is equal to 6 and b is equal to 3. That would mean q is equal to some prime number raised to 6 and another prime number raised to 3. Q is n cube. Find the cube root on both sides or divide all the powers by 3. You will get n is equal to p1 raised to 2 into p2 raised to 1. So this is n now. So now finding the number of factors for this n, where the power is 2 and 1, should be very easy. 2 plus 1 into 1 plus 1, which is 3 into 2. The number of factors for the second situation is 6. So I am getting the number of factors as 10 or 6 so far. So this is thinking of 28 as a product of only two natural numbers, right? And we are getting the number of factors for n as 10 or 6, right? 28 can also be written as a product of three natural numbers. For example, 7 into 2 into 2, right? Now, what would this 7 into 2 into 2 would mean for Q structure? Then what would it mean for N structure, because Q is N cube? And then you find out the value of N and then the number of factors for N for that situation. So that homework is being left to you, because we have already seen the logic. Hopefully you should be able to execute it, and then you can submit your answers, right? So this is it for the day, trying to understand a very simple idea. You had the formula and you were finding the number of factors in the previous videos. Now the number of factors is given to you. Using the formula, you are saying something about the nature of the original number. Again, remember, you're not getting the primes, you're only getting how many primes and what are the powers of prime involved, right? So this is it for the day. I take some time, revise the idea, let it sink in, and then couple of times do it with both the kind of problems together, and it should be fairly comfortable in a bit. So this is it for the day. Next session onwards, when we move into number of factors, we'll straight away go into practice territory, and then there are more applications of number of factors about arranging them and using them in solving some equations, which we'll see in the next theory session. So this is it for the day. See you really soon.